Trump to represent our great country is a sin.
Hillary gets in, there could very well be a civil war.
How did it get to the point where when you disagree with somebody, you have to be their enemy? Hello. How are you?
Welcome to our home. I'm
Thank
Pink
you.
Daddy.
I like your purple.
Oh, thank you.
I got my purple on as well.
Come in, yeah.
Good to meet you. David.
Dave, nice to meet you, sir.
You guys know each other?
I'm the son.
Yeah, this is both Dave, David. Hi, I'm Van.
Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
good.
Very nice to meet you, man. Larry.
There, I'm Van. Hi.
John.
Hi, John. Very good. I want to give you a little bit of sense of why I'm here. I'm just worried now. Just concerned.
So are we.
Yeah. And so I feel like we've gotten this thing in America now where we talk about each other, we never talk to each other. We are here in Gettysburg where there was a civil war because Americans couldn't work it out. And I'm worried, we're going to have another civil war. Or is this a civil war? I mean, is this how rich countries do civil wars? Shooting tweets instead of bullets. But, is that where we are?
A lot of it's going to rely on the way this election ends up.
Yeah.
Don't start.
Seriously.
No,
Big
that's
time.
good. Talk to me about that.
Hillary gets in, there could very well be a civil war.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are really freaked out. They don't know what to do. If she gets in, I'm one of them. I mean, I don't have guns and stuff like that to go and do anything with them.
Right.
But I know people that do.
Why?
Why? I don't think there's any turning back if she gets in this time. I think it's our last chance to get it right.
So we're going to do this one at a time. I want to hear from you.
Her principles are communistic ideals. That's my opinion. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
These crimes she's committed, like lying, deleting things when she was under investigation and was supposed to be subpoenaed, and she deleted a bunch of stuff before she submitted things.
You got a guy that's confessed to sexual assault, which is a crime. Does that bother you?
I didn't see anything to him admitting to sexual assault. I heard him talk about women in a degrading way.
Let me ask you a question. If just for kicks and giggles, I were to say that I had groped him, grabbed him by the P word.
I would say more power to you. That's your thing.
No. That's called assault. That's a sexual assault. When he's by himself in a truck, not even knowing he's being recorded, that's not political calculation, political conviction, or comedy for entertainment. That's who he is. And he's sitting there telling you who he is. But you still support him.
Because she's above the law. And there's not
But
one
if-
person that can touch her. And
Let's
she
not forget
scares
she's
me.
somebody else behind
She's done a
closed
lot
doors
of things
too.
behind closed doors
She's
too.
so above the law.
Okay, but I'll just shock you now.
Shock it, bring it on.
Shock and all.
I agree with you. I worked in the White House. If I had done what Hillary Clinton had done, I would be at Guantanamo. But just because she's got poop on her shoe doesn't mean that you want to be walking down the aisle with this man. So I don't want to, every time I say something about Donald Trump, you go, yeah, but she's worse. You got to
They do it both ways.
But you got, well, then flip a coin and vote for her.
People I talk to that support Trump, they don't care. They don't care that he's egotistical. They don't care that he doesn't know how to speak eloquently. They need a change, and they need it yesterday. I go back to a time when we were their age. And you didn't have to have a college education. You can graduate high school. You can work at the local factory. You can work at the local plant. You can go into manufacturing and work there 35, 40 years and retire. These jobs have left us within the last 25 to 30 years. They're gone because so much federal regulation has strangled business, strangled them.
But you blame federal regulations for...
Absolutely.
Well, why?
I can tell you personally, I've had basically 2 careers killed from NAFTA being passed. And now I have a second career in which I'm involved in a cigar industry. And they now want anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million per blend to be approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
I'm learning something. This is actually helpful to me. When I'm in these conversations is at a national level, at a federal level, in Washington, D.C., and it's just all rhetoric. And your experience in that sector of the economy is that the FDA is doing stuff that's causing you a bunch of heartburn.
Yes.
So why is it that you think that Trump is your friend when Trump, has been as big a part of it? He sends jobs overseas. He cheats small businesses. He declares bankruptcy for his companies and then makes everybody else take a bath. Why is this? I can see why you want an outsider, even maybe a business outsider, but why this guy?
I'm taking the lesser of the two evils.
Well, okay, so most of the time it's you talk about Republicans, you never talk to Republicans. I'm trying to learn here. Here's the stereotype about the Trump voters. That all the economic stuff and the regulation and the big government, all sort of stuff, is really just a cover. And what is really going on is you don't like the immigrants, you don't like the Muslims,
Wow.
you don't like black people, and you like the fact that Donald Trump is up there saying stuff that's offending all these different groups.
You just look on that wall. They're all immigrants. Immigrants is what makes this country. None of us would be here without immigrants. We need to do it responsibly, and we're not doing it responsibly.
Well, in terms of doing it responsibly, shouldn't we talk about it responsibly? And when he says, Mexico is sending rapists and all this, and some of them, I suppose, are good people. So he's certain about the rapists.
So he's a horrible speaker.
If your real concerns are economic overregulation and trying to get these jobs back and undo these trade deals, I'll fight till the last dog barks to get that fixed. But there's this whole other part of the Trump thing that is all of these, antagonisms that continue to land on certain groups.
The word racist is thrown around so much, it's losing its meaning. And that is so sad. You're a racist if you dress up in a Halloween costume as an Indian. Are we that sissified now? Our feelings are that fragile this is what we've come down to.
But here's the deal. You got all these groups hollering. Donald Trump runs his mouth. The Mexicans say, that hurts me. I'm going to tell you.
People have got to toughen up.
No, you don't have the right to tell somebody else how to deal with the pain that they're going through. If you say you should get a thicker skin, if you say you need to get over yourself, I'm going to hear that as this person does not respect me, does not understand me, does not know what I've gone through, and doesn't care. When you tell somebody, I'm going to listen. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
And I'm trying to do the same
I know,
thing.
and I appreciate
don't think we're going to agree
but
here.
we don't have to agree. And what I'm trying to figure out is how did it get to the point where when you disagree with somebody, you have to be their enemy? That's how you get to a civil war.
That just happened to me this past week. And one of my friends blasted me on social media. And how can a mother who professes to so love her children support Trump, who's a blah, 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 blah? And she called me two-faced, and she just cut into me big time. I lost a friend that I really liked and cared about. And how did my mothering come into play with who I'm supporting for president? Like, how dare you put me out there to be this evil individual? It broke my heart. It just broke my heart. I don't know. And that's why this is so good. And you're making me angry with things you're saying to me. But I love you for it. And why can't they just agree to disagree?
Part of the frustration and the heartbreak is not that we're mad at you, is that we need you. Like, we need each other. Liberty and justice for all. Every American child is raised with that. But they're never taught what it means. Conservatives are very concerned about liberty, individual rights. Liberals are more concerned about justice. What about those smaller groups that might get run over by the bigger groups? If you just go with justice only, no concern for liberty, just justice, you get totalitarianism. And if you have liberty without justice, you wind up with a different kind of domination. You wind up with corporate domination. And then the corporations buy your government. And then you're really screwed. And so the people who are strong on liberty and the people who are strong on justice are supposed to work together. And together we can solve a bunch of problems. Right now, we've been turned into enemies of each other. That's why America doesn't work. And until we start doing this, all across the country, we're not going to make it.
You've opened up a lot of things here. Even though they're at that end and you're at that end, you've been able to show this family in their home the respect they deserve. And to me, once again, that's what it's all about.
Well said. Alrighty.
Can we get a
Oh, I
photograph?
love that. So those are the kids when they were little?
Yep.
Wow, crazy. Amazing.
Yeah, just take a knee home. So like, hey.
America is
Like
fine.
Cap. Take a knee like Kaepernick.
Yeah. That's why I don't watch football anymore.